Jeff Bagwell was paid $17 million dollars while unable to throw a baseball. What followed felt like one of baseball's most horrible crimes, even if no law was broken. This is the story of how money, suspicion, and silence almost destroyed a Hall of Fame legacy. Jeff Bagwell was a monster at the plate. The Houston Astros first baseman crushed 449 home runs across 15 seasons. He won the 1994 MVP award in a strike-shortened season. He made 4 All-Star teams. He earned 3 Silver Slugger awards. He stayed loyal to one franchise his entire career. But this story isn't about those achievements. This is about the scandal that almost destroyed it all. Bagwell compiled a remarkable statistical record during his career. His batting average stood at 297. He collected 2,314 hits. He drove in 1,529 runs. He scored 1,517 runs. He achieved something unique in baseball history. He's the only player to record 6 consecutive seasons with at least 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, 100 runs scored, and 100 walks. By 2005, Bagwell's body was breaking down. A chronic shoulder condition filled his joints with bone-on-bone wear. He couldn't throw a baseball without excruciating pain. 4 years of constant agony had worn him down physically and mentally. He tried to keep playing despite the limitations. Arthroscopic surgery didn't help his condition. His last real productive season was already behind him, but he was still owed a massive payday from his contract. The Astros had a serious financial problem. Bagwell was contractually guaranteed $17 million for the 2006 season, but he couldn't physically perform at a major league level. The team desperately wanted their money back. On January 27, 2006, Houston filed an insurance claim with Connecticut General Life Insurance Company. They sought to recoup $15.6 million. That's over 90% of his total salary. Their argument was simple and direct. Bagwell was totally disabled, but Bagwell strongly disagreed with this assessment. He still wanted to play baseball. He planned to attend spring training camps. His agent Barry Axelrod said he believed Bagwell would be ready to perform. The insurance company saw things very differently. Connecticut General Life Insurance denied the claim on March 13th. Their reasoning was technical but absolutely devastating. They said Bagwell's condition hadn't changed between his last game and when the policy expired on January 31st. Bagwell was absolutely furious with the situation. He accused the Astros of prioritizing money over his career and well-being. Quote, "It's just amazing how bad they don't want me to play. They just want to collect their money. It's an awkward situation. It probably will never be fixed between me and the Astros." Despite the obvious tension, Bagwell showed up to spring training. He played in exhibition games. He even played first base in back-to-back contests. But the pain was too much to bear. He couldn't make the throws he needed to make. On March 25, 2006, the Astros placed him on the disabled list. His career was effectively over at that moment. The insurance battle continued behind closed doors for months. The financial dispute revealed something truly ugly about professional sports. Here was a franchise icon, someone who'd given everything to one organization for 15 years. But when money was involved, loyalty completely disappeared. The Astros general manager Tim Purpura expressed deep anxiety about the situation. He noted the complexity and lack of precedent in similar cases. Quote, "You don't collect on the claim until he's actually missed time." The business side was getting extremely messy. Bagwell felt completely betrayed by the organization he'd served faithfully. The insurance filing came just days before their policy expired on January 31st. The timing looked calculated and cold to outside observers. The dispute highlighted a fundamental tension in professional sports. It showed the conflict between a player's identity and desire to compete. It also showed a team's financial risk management priorities. Watching guys like Bagwell used to be appointment viewing for baseball fans. And today, with FUBO, it still can be. Whether it's today's stars or Hall of Fame throwbacks, Fubo gets you every pitch, every moment, every dramatic storyline. Don't miss the action that defines legacies. The insurance fight was just the beginning of Bagwell's long troubles. When he became eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2011, new problems emerged immediately. Despite truly elite statistics, his vote totals were surprisingly low. In 2011, he got just 41.7% of votes. He needed 75% to get in. This was shocking, given his credentials. The issue wasn't his impressive numbers on the field. It was suspicion about performance-enhancing drugs. The steroid era had made voters extremely paranoid. Bagwell never failed a single drug test. He wasn't named in the Mitchell report, but persistent whispers followed him anyway. Critics pointed to his muscular build and impressive power numbers. They made completely baseless assumptions about his physical size. Some connected him to the home run surge of the late 90s without evidence. Frank Thomas, a fellow Hall of Famer, publicly implied Bagwell used performance-enhancing drugs. His evidence was absolutely nothing substantial. Bagwell hadn't emphatically denied using steroids. This backward logic poisoned the entire discourse around his candidacy. The truth was much simpler than critics suggested. Bagwell was a dedicated gym rat who trained at 5 a.m. every single day. He moved from the pitcher-friendly Astrodome to a more hitter-friendly ballpark. His power surge had completely logical explanations that voters ignored. But logic didn't matter in this heated environment. Suspicion by association ruled the day completely. Voters treated whispers like concrete evidence. Year after year, Bagwell fell short of induction. 2012, 56%. 2013, 59.6%. 2014, 54.3%. 2015, 55.7%. The pattern was becoming painfully clear. The pattern was absolutely clear to everyone watching. Voters were punishing him for nothing more than existing during the steroid era. Some voters were absolutists who voted against Bagwell simply because he had big forearms. The allegations were based entirely on whispers and suspicion by association. One Reddit user explicitly stated there was zero evidence of PED use by Bagwell. All that existed was mere suspicion and speculation. Critics even tried linking Bagwell to Ken Kamenides' admitted steroid use. But Kamenides' PED use occurred after he left Houston completely. The connection was completely false and misleading. Another controversial aspect involved androstenedione, known as Andro. This dietary supplement was neither illegal nor against MLB rules when Bagwell allegedly took it. It was later banned by the league, but its legal status at the time distinguished it from actual banned steroids. In 2016, something finally shifted in Bagwell's favor. His vote total jumped significantly to 71.6%. Finally, in 2017, he crossed the threshold. 86.2% of voters selected him for induction. He was inducted at age 48, alongside Ivan Rodriguez and Tim Raines as part of the class of 2017. The long wait was finally over after 7 years, but the damage was already done to his reputation. 7 years of rejection had tarnished his legacy significantly. The Hall of Fame should have been a celebration. Instead, it felt like vindication for something he never did. The irony was absolutely stark and painful. Bagwell's reputation was hurt more by money disputes than by drug allegations. The $17 million fight with his own team left deeper scars than any steroid whisper ever could. There was even more darkness in his personal story. In 2020, Bagwell made a shocking public admission. He revealed his battle with alcoholism for the very first time. He described addiction as the hardest thing he'd ever faced in his entire life. It was all about where's my next drink. He recalled looking in the mirror at 7 a.m. and thinking he was killing himself slowly. But he couldn't stop drinking, despite the consequences. The timing was particularly significant for his legacy. His struggles weren't unknown around the Astros organization for years. People knew about his problems. But the public revelation came years after his retirement. He'd been completely sober since October 17, 2017. Ironically, that was the exact same year he entered the Hall of Fame. His greatest professional triumph coincided perfectly with his personal recovery journey. Bagwell's primary motivation for going public was helping other people. He spoke at a recovery school fundraiser in Houston. He wanted to assist young people facing similar battles with addiction. He was profoundly affected by witnessing students who had attempted suicide due to their struggles with substances. But serious questions remained about his past. How long had he struggled with alcohol? Did it affect his playing career performance? The silence around his addiction mirrored the secrecy around the insurance dispute perfectly. The culture of sport itself contributed significantly to this challenge. Athletes face additional stress to keep personal problems under wraps. When an athlete has a serious problem, everyone finds out about it eventually. This makes it much harder to hide from intense public scrutiny. Bagwell's description of having no control over himself, the professional relationship healed over time, but the emotional scars remained deeply embedded. The insurance battle revealed how ugly baseball's business side could become. The Hall of Fame delay showed how suspicion could destroy reputations without evidence. Bagwell beat the best pitchers of his era consistently. He played through chronic pain for years. He conquered his addiction to alcohol successfully. But the scandal, the suspicion, and the prolonged silence, that's what people remember most clearly. He's in Cooperstown now with his bronze plaque. His number 5 hangs, retired in Houston. His statistics speak for themselves eloquently. But the controversy never fully disappeared from his story. The $17 million scandal wasn't about breaking any laws. It was about breaking trust between important parties, between player and team, between legend and fans, between the man and his complicated legacy. Jeff Bagwell is a Hall of Famer without question, but not without significant controversy along the way. And for him, that's the real lasting legacy.